Thank you for becoming my wife.
Love can bloom even in the quietest corners of the countryside. After long days working under the sun, Ly Tieu Nu finds comfort in her dreams of the day Truong will return when their long-awaited wedding will finally come true. Through hard work, hope, and the power of love, she learns that patience can turn loneliness into strength. Join us in this heartwarming story of devotion, faith, and the beauty of waiting for true love. Yellow. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more touching love stories like this one. After a long day working on the farm, Ly Tieu Nu finally sat down by the wooden porch, the gentle evening breeze brushing against her tired cheeks. Her hands were still stained with soil, the faint scent of freshly cut grass lingering around her. Yet, instead of exhaustion, there was a quiet peace in her heart. She gazed toward the horizon where the setting sun spilled golden light across the fields they had once tended together. And suddenly, her thoughts drifted to Truong. It had been months since he left, yet every sunset seemed to whisper his name. Every rustle of the wind carried a trace of his laughter. She closed her eyes, letting herself dream once more. Dream of the day he would finally return, walking through the path lined with blooming daisies, the same path where they used to stroll hand in hand. In her imagination, that day was bright and full of joy. She saw herself in a white wedding dress, her hair gently curled, holding a bouquet of wildflowers freshly picked from their own garden. Truong would be there smiling, that calm, steady smile that always made her heart flutter. Around them stood their families and friends, clapping, laughing, and blessing their love. The small countryside chapel would be filled with sunlight, laughter, and the sweet scent of jasmine. Ly Tieu Nu could almost hear the cheerful music, see the warm smiles of her loved ones, and feel the soft touch of Truong's hand as he placed the ring on her finger. It wasn't just a dream of marriage. It was a dream of peace, of coming home after a long wait, of two hearts finding their way back to each other despite all distance and time. The thought of that moment gave her strength. Every time she felt weary after hours under the sun, every time loneliness crept into her heart, she would imagine that beautiful day, the day when Truong would finally come back to her. Just that vision alone filled her with a sense of purpose, turning her waiting into something tender and meaningful. She smiled softly, her eyes shining with quiet determination. The farm, the fields, the sunsets, they were all reminders of him and of a love worth waiting for. Deep down, Ly Tieu Nu knew one day her dream wedding would no longer be a dream, but a promise fulfilled beneath the same endless sky. In that beautiful dream, Ly Tieu Nu could see every little detail of their wedding as if it were already written in her destiny. The morning sun would rise gently over the fields, painting the sky in soft shades of pink and gold. The air would be filled with the scent of blooming roses and the freshness of newly cut hay. She imagined herself standing in front of the small wooden arch decorated with wildflowers, the same ones Truong once planted for her on their first spring together. Her heart would beat fast, not out of nervousness, but from the overwhelming happiness of finally seeing the man she had been waiting for so long. Truong would walk toward her, his eyes filled with warmth and affection. His smile, calm and steady, would make everything else fade away. When he reached her, he would take her hands, rough from the years of farm work, yet soft in his grasp, and whisper words only she could hear. "We made it, my love." In that instant, All the distance, belonging, and the countless nights of missing each other would dissolve into the quiet air around them. Their families would stand nearby, their faces glowing with joy. Her parents would smile through tears, watching their daughter finally find the happiness she deserved. Friends would laugh and cheer, tossing petals into the air, while the children from the village ran around in delight. The ceremony would be simple but full of love, a reflection of the lives they had built from the soil beneath their feet. Later, the celebration would continue in the open field beside the barn. Tables made from wooden planks would be covered with white linen, decorated with jars of daisies and candles glowing softly under the twilight. The dishes would all come from their own harvest, fresh vegetables, sweet fruits, and honey gathered from their beehives. Laughter would rise like music, mixing with the sound of crickets and the distant hum of the wind. And when the first song played, Truong would pull Ly Tieu Nu into his arms. They would dance barefoot on the grass, her head resting on his shoulder, their hearts beating in rhythm with the melody of love and homecoming. In that moment, she would realize the waiting, the longing, and every sleepless night had all been worth it. For love, real love, always finds its way home. But when the dream slowly faded and reality returned, Ly Tieu Nu found herself back on the porch, surrounded by the gentle hum of the countryside. The sky had darkened into soft twilight, the scent of the fields still clinging to her skin. She took a deep breath, a small smile lingering on her lips. Though Truong was far away, her heart remained full, not with sadness, but with quiet faith. The dream wasn't just a fantasy to her, it was a promise, a light that guided her through the long days of waiting and the lonely nights beneath the stars. Every morning, when the first rays of sun touched the fields, she would rise early to tend the crops, whispering to herself that each sprouting leaf, each blooming flower, was a step closer to his return. She often imagined Truong beside her, his hands helping hers plant seeds into the rich brown soil, his laughter blending with the sound of the breeze. It was those tender thoughts that gave her strength, the unspoken belief that love could bloom even from distance, that the heart could stay loyal through the slow passing of seasons. There were nights when the loneliness crept in quietly, when the sound of the wind against the windows reminded her of how far apart they were. Yet, instead of tears, she chose to smile, because she knew that somewhere out there, Truong was also looking at the same sky, thinking of her, dreaming of the same day. That thought alone was enough to warm her soul and keep her moving forward. As she watched the stars begin to appear, one by one, Ly Tieu Nu clasped her hands together and whispered a soft prayer, not for the wait to be shorter, but for her heart to stay strong until the day they finally met again. She wanted their reunion not to be rushed, but perfect, filled with laughter, sunlight, and the sweet scent of jasmine from their garden. With that hope in her heart, she stood up, brushed the dust from her dress, and looked toward the fields that shimmered faintly under the moonlight. Everything felt alive, as if even the earth shared her anticipation. She knew that love, when true and patient, never fades. One day, Truong would return, and their dream would come alive, not as a fantasy anymore, but as the life they had always promised each other under the same endless sky.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các khán giả của kênh Lý Tiểu Nữ Review. Rất vui vì ngày hôm nay lại gặp lại các bạn trong câu chuyện hôm nay. Trong câu chuyện hôm nay của chúng ta thì Lý Tiểu Nữ và Truong đã có những giây phút tổ chức đám cưới bên nhau rất là vui vẻ và hạnh phúc. Và tất cả những cái điều mong muốn này của Lý Tiểu Nữ đang được cô ờ, mơ hàng ngày, và cô rất là mong Trường sớm trở về để điều ước này của cô có thể trở thành hiện thực. Mọi tình tiết hấp dẫn của Lý Tiểu Nữ và Trường cũng như câu chuyện tình yêu và đời thực của họ sẽ còn được kể ở các video tiếp theo. Các bạn nếu thấy video hay hấp dẫn thì hãy bấm nút subscribe để đăng ký kênh nha. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại vào các bạn vào các tập tiếp theo trên kênh Lý Tiểu Nữ Review. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.